Hello and welcome to Life Journal Jumpstart. My name is Paul Brown and I will be going through today's reading. The very first book we see here is Job chapter 37 to 38, and we're going to start it in chapter 38, and we see this is the moment. This is the moment that Job has been looking for, and we see that Eliphaz and Elihu and Bildad and Zophar, and they're all there. And Elihu they just came from this monologue. He's talking about, the theodicy, explaining the ways of God and his justice and vindicating God's justice again, towards Job. And this is the moment Job has been waiting for. I want to stand for God. He wants to be here. And finally, in chapter 38, the Lord shows up. So let's read Job 38, verse 1 to 3. Then the Lord spoke to Job out of the storm. Can you imagine with me a storm? He said, "Who is this that obscure my plans with words without knowledge? Brace yourself like a man. I will question you and you shall answer me." Wow. It's almost like Job said, I'm going to question God and I will see him face to face and he will answer me. And now Job is now on the stand. This is an awesome story and an awesome poetic wisdom literature that gives you a paints picture of this understanding of who God is and his ways and how we should respond when hard times come our way, right? Because hard times do come. It's not a matter that if they do come, but rather when they come. So what is our response? And we can really see that Job's faith, even though he struggled through, he held on to God. I think that's something that we need to focus on, that when we are faithful and even though we don't understand and even though our expectations aren't met, holding on to Jesus, holding on to God, at the end of the day is always going to lead to our victory. So finally we see Job being answered by the Lord. Please enjoy that. The second book that we're going to be looking through is 1 Corinthians 12, and we see that again, that Paul is talking about holiness and he's talking about unity. And he's talking specifically what the gifts are for. The Spirit of God gives gifts, and what are they for? Why are they given? And you can read right now 1 Corinthians 12:4. Therefore, there are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and in everyone, it is the same God at work. We see that there's different gifts, but all of them are distributed by one God. There are different kinds of service, but all of them the same Lord. Again, he's trying to bring this picture of unity. No matter what, unity. Even in the gifts, we're not trying to, and we see in the church in Corinth that they were trying to out-gift each other, that my gift is better than yours. And what Paul is saying here is no, each gift is given by God for our good and for the glory of God, for the good of the body, to love each other with our gifts, to be edified in ourselves, and to glorify God. Again, it's laying down of our rights and picking up our cross to see Christ famous in the world around us. I hope that encourages you, gives you an in-depth look into the Word of God, and that you may know Jesus and love him a little bit more each day. We love you, and we'll see you next time on Life Journal Jumpstart.